You know that feeling when you walk into your room and someone's there, uninvited, just touching your stuff? It's annoying, right? Now imagine your room is a giant, beautiful underwater cave system in Mexico, and the uninvited guest is a group of bubble-blowing humans with giant flashlights. Yeah, you'd be pretty mad too. So picture this, July 2021, Mexico's Cenote dos Ojos. It's basically an underwater cathedral, crystal clear water, stunning rock formations, a dream dive. Our team is led by a pro named Carlos, guiding an underwater photographer, Janet, and another diver, Tom. They're swimming along, everything is zen, Janet snapping gorgeous pictures of stalactites. They pass through this weird shimmery layer where salt water and fresh water meet, making everything look like a trippy mirror. Cool, right? Well, at about 150 meters in, Carlos spots something. A giant green moray eel, like 5 feet long, peeking out of a crevice. It's opening and closing its mouth, showing off a full set of nightmare teeth. This is basically the underwater equivalent of a grumpy old man shaking his fist and yelling, "Get off my lawn!" Carlos signals to his team, "Okay, let's just give the angry water noodle some space and keep moving." But as they swim past, 2 more eels pop out, and the new one, the big boss, is almost 6 feet long with a head like a bulldog. It plants itself right in their path. Janet, busy with her camera, doesn't even see it until it's right in her face. The eel goes full-on defensive mode, coiling up, mouth wide open. Carlos realizes what's happening. It's breeding season. They've stumbled into a moray eel maternity ward, and these are some very overprotective parents. He signals for an immediate retreat, but it's a tight spot. As Janet tries to back up, her camera gets snagged on a rock. She's stuck. Tom moves in to help her, but to the eels, he just looks like another big, clumsy intruder. The big boss eel has had enough. It lunges and clamps down on Tom's forearm. The bite goes right through his wetsuit, and suddenly there's blood in the water. Tom's regulator gets knocked out of his mouth, but Carlos, being a total pro, shoves his backup in there while signaling for everyone to get the heck out. The eel lets go, but now all the eels are interested, because, blood. They make a frantic but controlled swim for the exit, even having to play matador with another eel blocking their path. They finally surface, Tom gets stitched up, and Janet has some terrifyingly awesome photos of the most epic get-off-my-lawn moment in moray eel history. Okay, so moray eels are basically angry territorial noodles. But what if the bouncer at the Underwater Club was a dinosaur? Let's go to Florida. Jenny Springs, to be exact. It's September, which in Florida means 2 things. Pumpkin spice is back, and the alligators are getting romantic. And when gators get romantic, they get angry at everything. Our guide, Rick, sees the warning signs about alligator activity. But he's a seasoned local, he's probably seen a million gators. He figures the warnings are for people splashing around on the surface, not for serious divers. So he takes his group, including a relatively new cave diver named Alex, into the water. The first red flag, the water's unusually murky. Second red flag, they find fresh alligator claw marks in the sand near the cave entrance, big ones. Rick, in a moment of classic Florida man confidence, decides to press on. They descend towards the cave mouth. As they get closer, one of the diver's lights catches something. 2 big glowing eyes staring back from the darkness of the cave entrance, and attached to those eyes is an 11-foot-long alligator. It has completely blocked the only way in or out. This isn't just some gator hanging out. This is a massive male who has declared this cave his personal bachelor pad, and he is not expecting company. Rick signals everyone to back away slowly, but Alex, the new guy, maybe a little mesmerized, keeps swimming forward. This, it turns out, is the alligator equivalent of ringing the doorbell and then kicking the door in. The gator launches itself out of the cave with terrifying speed, jaws wide open, aiming right for Alex. Rick, in a heroic move, shoves Alex out of the way, just as those jaws snap shut with enough force to crack a bowling ball. Alex loses his mask and regulator, and chaos erupts. The gator starts circling them, stirring up so much sand and silt that visibility drops to almost zero. Now they're trapped in a murky snow globe with an angry, invisible dinosaur. And then, just to make things worse, they spot 2 more pairs of eyes in the gloom. They are now surrounded by 3 territorial alligators. Rick makes the call, get to the surface now. As they ascend, the big male follows them, making one last lunge and chomping down on another diver's fin. She kicks it off, and they all scramble onto the dock, hearts pounding. The local wildlife officers confirmed it. They'd crashed a gator bachelor party. The cave was closed for 6 weeks. All right, we've had angry noodles and Florida's favorite lizard. Let's talk about the ocean's most famous PR nightmare, sharks. We're heading to the Great Blue Hole in Belize. It's a massive, perfectly circular, deep blue abyss. It's stunning. It's also full of sharks. A dive master named Mike is guiding 3 tourists. The plan is simple: go down, see the cool ancient stalactites, look at some sharks from a safe distance, and come back up. One of the tourists, David, is a photographer, and he is very excited about the sharks. At about 35 meters down, they see them. 3 Caribbean reef sharks just cruising. Perfect. This is what they paid for. David starts snapping photos, his powerful camera strobes flashing like paparazzi at a movie premiere. The flashes get the sharks' attention. They swim a little closer. Then 2 more sharks show up. Then 3 more, and their body language starts to change. They're not just curiously swimming by anymore. Their fins are down, their movements are jerky and aggressive. They're going from, "Oh, hello there," to, "You wanna go, bro?" One of the divers, a marine biologist, recognizes the signs of agitation and alerts Mike. The biggest shark, a hefty 8-footer, is now making uncomfortably close passes. David, lost in his own world, is still flashing away, basically poking the sharks with a light beam. Mike realizes the strobes are triggering this aggressive behavior. He makes the call to abort the dive. He literally swims over, grabs David's camera, and turns the flashes off. As they begin their ascent, the sharks follow them, circling menacingly. They make it back to the boat, shaken but safe. It turns out they'd stumbled into the sharks' feeding area, and the camera flashes were like a dinner bell mixed with a declaration of war. So far, these have been close calls. But what happens when you're so deep, the water itself starts playing tricks on your brain, your equipment fails, and you're surrounded by an entire biker gang of hammerhead sharks? Welcome to Dean's Blue Hole in the Bahamas, the deepest saltwater blue hole in the world. Dr. Amanda Foster, a hardcore technical diver and scientist, is on a solo research mission to 80 meters. That's deep. So deep, she's breathing a special gas cocktail to keep her brain from turning into scrambled eggs. This is a world very few people ever get to see. As she descends, she starts seeing sharks. First, a few reef sharks, no big deal. Then, at about 50 meters, she sees them. 3 great hammerheads, each over 12 feet long. They're majestic, and they keep their distance. But Amanda's going deeper. At 72 meters, she sees something that no scientist has ever documented before. A school of over 20 great hammerheads. Some are 15 feet long. They're just congregating, an underwater hammerhead convention. It's an unbelievable sight. But as she's trying to document this incredible discovery, the biggest female, a monster at nearly 16 feet, takes an interest in her. Then a few others join in, circling her. They're not aggressive, just curious, but when a shark the size of a small car is curious about you, it's a little stressful. Just then, Amanda reaches her turnaround time. She glances at her dive computer, and it's flashing error messages. The depth sensor has failed. She is 72 meters down, surrounded by giant sharks, and the one piece of equipment she needs to get back to the surface safely is broken. Without it, she can't calculate her decompression stops, which could literally kill her. With ice in her veins, Amanda has to abort her research, abandon this incredible discovery, and focus solely on survival. Using backup techniques and her own immense experience, she begins a slow, painstaking ascent, all while the hammerheads shadow her. She has to estimate her depth, manage her gas, and control her nerves. After a grueling 95 minutes, she finally surfaces. She survived a diver's worst nightmare, a perfect storm of equipment failure and an overwhelming force of nature, all happening at a depth where the slightest mistake is your last. These stories aren't about monsters of the deep. They're about humans who, for a brief moment, forgot the #1 rule of the wild. We are just visitors. And sometimes we show up at the worst possible time, unannounced, to a party we were definitely not invited to. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aquatic disaster, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments which one of these underwater encounters would have made you fill your wetsuit. Thanks for watching.